How's it going, everybody out there? Welcome back to the channel, Biblical Truth Central. It's Brother D here, back with another video. So I came across this story that was published actually yesterday by The Hill here. And it says, oh, this is sad actually, really sad. 1 in 6 U.S. restaurants have permanently, not temporarily, but permanently closed amid pandemic. This is so sad. 1 in 6. That is a very high number. Very high number, folks. The shutdown that happened earlier this year, there are some businesses that have still not really recovered from that. And they're still feeling the effects of it. Let's read this story. More than, look at this number. Look at this. And yet we have somebody who is attempting to get into the White House who wants to close the country down again. Basically, talk about finishing us off, right? 110,000 restaurants have completely closed as a result of the coronavirus pandemic, according to the estimate by the National Restaurant Association. The advocacy group predicts that as of Monday, 17% of restaurants have permanently closed, which is about 1 in 6 nationwide. The number also marks an increase from September, when the group said about 100,000 restaurants had closed. 37% of operators said it is unlikely their restaurants will still be in business 6 months from now, according to the survey released by Monday by the National Restaurant Association. So this is saying that there are going to be more restaurants to close. There's going to be more. Some of these places that are still open, they're not thriving. They're struggling right now. They're struggling. I've talked to so many people in the food industry and really in all branches of careers. But the restaurant industry, they're struggling. The National Restaurant Association sent the survey finding in a letter to Congress on Monday, offering its support for a compromise proposal as a down payment ahead of a larger relief package in 2021. What these findings made clear that more than 500,000 restaurants of every business type, franchise, chain, and independent are in an economic free fall, said Sean Kennedy, Executive Vice President for Public Affairs at the association in the letter. And for every month that passes without a solution from Congress, thousands more restaurants will close their doors for good. Let's stop right here. This part right here, a solution from Congress. What do you think that solution is going to be? You guessed it, the vaccination. There is no putting an end to all of this unless they come out with something that gives people peace, something that gives people confidence, something that allows people to take off their mask, and that's going to be the vaccine. So this is saying if there's no solution, thousands of more restaurants are going to close their doors for good. Now, I've actually known people who have just opened small businesses recently in the restaurant industry and they had to close. So I feel bad for them. Without additional relief from the federal government, the group reports that 58% of chain and independent restaurants expect continued furloughs and layoffs for at least the next 3 months. Revenue has been down by more than 1/3 compared with normal operations. 87% of restaurants, including independent chains and franchise restaurants, report an average of 36% drop in sales revenue. The National Restaurant Association reaches a group survey was conducted among 6,000 restaurants operators and 250 supply chains businesses from November 17th to November the 30th. They are really doing a number on this country with this whole situation right now. They are really trying to bleed people out. They're trying to make this country so desperate and so dependent on this so-called solution that they want to try to propose. Okay, this so-called solution. Look at this number. Look at this. Where is it? Over 100,000 restaurants in America alone have closed. Wherever you live, wherever you stay, I'm sure you have seen a restaurant that you have probably used to, visit, or that has been around for a long time closed. Several of them have closed here in Florida. Several. It's a bad time to be in the food industry right now. And to be honest, which is a bad time to be in any industry right here. Where is it? There was a part here that said something about furlough. I have a client that, she's a flight attendant, and she was only a flight attendant for like 4.5, 5 months. And they told her, hey, we're laying off 8,000 flight attendants. So now there's nothing we can do. So now she doesn't have a job. A lot of people are in this position. It's not just restaurants. That's just like the tip of the iceberg. A lot of people are feeling this right now. I made a Facebook post the other day saying, you don't look for a job. Find a skill, some sort of a skill, so that if they do decide to close the doors of a restaurant that you work for, you'll have something to fall back on. Or if you are a restaurant owner, you'll have something to fall back on. People are just not going out like that anymore. Like, more and more people are staying home. They're not wanting to go out to eat. They're just wanting to stay out of, stay safe, as they say. The direction that we're headed, it's perilous. It's concerning. But if you're a believer in Christ, you already know we got nothing to be afraid of. But this definitely is something to pay attention to, especially coming within the next year, because as this article stated, within the next 3 months, we're going to see an increase of restaurants closing. So this is not over yet. People are still going to be shutting their doors. See, expected continued furloughs and layoffs for at least the next 3 months. If there is no solution from Congress, all right? Solution. They're really playing with the people. We've gotten to a point where we've depended way too much on the government, way too much. And I think that the American people have completely forgotten about the fact that the government is supposed to be serving us. They're supposed to be working for us. But somewhere down in history, that got flipped and people became uninformed, and they've pretty much forgotten the bare essentials and basics of the American Constitution. But anyway, I digress. Just wanted to share this with everybody out there. If you're somebody in the restaurant industry or you work in food, I highly recommend that you try your best to look somewhere else for something else, a trade, a skill, something. Do not depend solely on these restaurants, because they could close at any moment. They could close at any moment. They're very, very, very shaky. Okay. All right. You can go to thehill.com to read this article. We'll put the link in the description of this video. If you're new, please consider subscribing to this channel. God bless you all. Stay one in Christ. Peace.